branded BBP Inc., guys. Basement Built Productions. Yeah, check that out. Came out pretty cool. I'm stoked on it. Hey world, YouTube world. It has been a while, and welcome back to the basement, home of BBP Inc. and home of yours truly, Nick Shepard. What have I been up to? Well, I have been trying to decide what I really want to do with my channel. And I came to the conclusion that, you know what? I do a lot of random stuff, and I'm sure you guys have heard me say that quite frequently. And with that being said, I kind of just want to turn my channel into a lifestyle channel. Follow me and my lady around and see what we do and what we get into. So why am I here sitting in the basement with a giant speaker behind me? Well, if you've followed me for some time, you know that in a distant past, I played for a band called Modern Day Escape. I was a musician and toured all over the United States, did 3 national records, all of that stuff. And recently I felt like, you know what, I want to start playing live gear again. I've continued to play and write music and record music, but it's what they call it in the box with computer programs and things like that. And you don't require any of this big heavy gear. You basically need a guitar and then your programs. So with me wanting to do live gear again, I needed to find a way to get gear. I hit up all of our local band and or musician Facebook groups and pretty much put a flag out saying, hey, anybody want to trade some gear for photo work? And I had a cool local band that does covers called the Retrophonics hit me up and say, hey, we've got a 412 cab. Would you be willing to shoot a show for us if we traded you that cab? And sure as shit, took them up on it. And that brings us to what we're doing here today. Well, I don't like black cabs. I think they're boring. I like eccentric, obnoxious colors, things like that. So we're going to attempt, my first time ever, we're going to attempt to recover this cabinet in a white tolex. Now again, I've never done this before. I've spent a little bit of time watching videos on YouTube. So that means I'm a professional, and I'm gonna take you guys along with me on the journey while I recover this thing. Outside of that, if you do have any questions, and if this does come out looking good, by all means, shoot those questions in the comments, and I'll do my best to answer them for you. So without further ado, let's try and strip the old tolex off this thing. So like I expected, the cab itself, because this isn't a super high-end cab, it's a Vox. When they first released these, I think they were like 500 bucks. Anyway, the cab is MDF. Everything is removed, all the hardware is now removed, and the only thing I've got left to do now is use a heat gun and start trying to peel this tolex off. Our line starting there. Hopefully we can get this whole bad boy off and not be a complete headache. We'll see what happens. right, so it's day 2. Material's in, cab is stripped. Now it's time for the very unfun part of sanding. Try and get this old adhesive off. I don't know how much I really need to do, because it's pretty flush. There's not a lot of chunks on it, but I don't want any bumps showing up through the new material. With that being said, I did do a test run of the new material just to see how it would roll on the cab and see how it would lay down with the texture on it. I sanded this area right here, and I used some adhesive that I had, which is this 3M90. A lot of guys that I saw on YouTube are using this really white stuff, like gooey stuff. It looks like Elmer's glue. I'm not sure what it is. Honestly, I didn't want to buy any more adhesive if I didn't have to, because I had a whole can of this laying down, and it goes a long way. Anyway, my point, I wanted to do a test strip to see how the material rolled and laid down. It looks great. And I wanted to see how well this 3M90 would hold up. And I gotta be honest, I already peeled a little bit. I'm not gonna lie to you. I peeled a little bit off already. And this stuff, I mean, it's on there. So I think we'll be good with that 3M90, man. If not, I'll go buy some other adhesive and we'll go from there. But again, for the really unfun part, we're gonna sand this bad boy down and get her covered. And I gotta be blatantly honest, I absolutely fucking hate sanding. It is my least favorite thing to do with any project, and for some reason, I always seem to find projects to do that you have to sand. So, with that being said, let's do the shitty part. Alright, as you can see, we have our material, cab's ready to go, sanded, and I've never done this before, so I'm going to try and do my best to not mess it up. Yeah, wish me luck. Oh, you know, just getting spray adhesive all over my garage, all over the basement. No big deal. All right, first roll, here we go. Alright, so we got her all rolled up. Ran into a couple of issues, and I had to figure it out as I was going, clearly. And I had to put a towel on the table because I nicked the vinyl already, because something sharp on the table caught it. So we're working on a towel now. With that being said, next thing we gotta do is our corners and our straight cut here. And I've watched a couple videos, watched a lot of videos that show me how to do this. Hopefully I can do this right and not mess this up. I'm gonna probably do my best to show you guys what those cuts look like, and we'll go from there. Okay, so unfortunately, my GoPro took a crap when I was showing you guys how to do corners, and I know that's the main reason why people are watching this video, is how to cut your corners when you're wrapping a cab or an amp. So when I was doing the cab, my GoPro took a crap and I didn't even realize it, and I finished the cab and was like, oh look, I have no footage. So I'm wrapping a head right now, different material, but it's all the same stuff when it comes to corners. So we're gonna show you guys how to do the corners when you're wrapping a cab or an amp in new tolex. And I know a lot of the other videos, these guys that have been doing this forever go super, super fast. And actually this is only the second time I have done this now. So I'm gonna do my best to go slow and show you guys how it works. When you really understand the dynamics of cutting the corners for your cabs, it's actually really simple. You just gotta take your time. Don't worry about the glue drying. The reality is the tackier the glue is, actually the better for the tolex to stick to the cab or the amp or whatever you're redoing. So don't freak out. Just take your time. And it's actually really simple. You just gotta go slow. And so I'm gonna do my best to try and go slow and show you guys. So this is the top of the cab. I've already rolled it. I'm gonna do a seam. I'll show you guys how to do the seam as well, because that didn't get in the video. So your top, here's your corner, your edge, whatever you wanna call it. After you've rolled it, it's set up a little bit, you're gonna push this down, right? And this area's gonna push out like this, and that's fine, no big deal. So you're gonna push this down, and what you're gonna do is make sure you have a freaking brand new razor blade. This is super important. Figure out where it meets the wood and the edge here, and just take your time and cut straight up all the way to that edge. All right, so there's your first roll, and that's just gonna roll in just like that. All right, it's not super crazy. You know, I know when you see guys do it super fast, it's like, wait, you did what? And if you look, I don't know if you guys, I hope you guys can see that. If you look, because I rolled this to straight, it's a square, right? So because I cut it straight up the edge of this cab or this amp, you have a nice perfect straight line right there. So where that corner is, we are now going to take our razor blade and just get a nice cut all the way to the top. Now with corners like this that have corner caps, you can be a little bit sloppy too. All right, so we're gonna take this part, open it up, pull it across, all right? And just make sure that sets up good. All right, so the next thing you're gonna do, here's a little trick. This glue will set up for a while. So now we already have that line, and you don't want to cut into this material when you cut the second one. So go ahead and pull that up. Let that flap hang out right there. This is a really like amateur way of cheating this. You're gonna do the exact same thing right here, guys. So go right into the tolex against the cab or just the wood and go all the way to the edge, okay? Then you're gonna push that bad boy in just like that. This piece is gonna come out. Let's roll that bad boy back out. So it's a cheating way, guys. Just roll with me with this, all right? I learned this when I did it the first time. So then, right here, pull that across, and you're gonna roll that corner again, all right? Roll it all the way up to right there. And just like that, you now have your corner. A little bit of glue on there, you can get that off, no big deal. Again, that's it. That's how you get your corners, guys. And that is pretty much perfect. And the beauty of this, see how that's perfect right in there. So you got two, basically they lap over each other. You get it. Anyway, I don't know how else to explain it. Now here's the beauty of this. When you could be a little bit sloppy on these corners, because if you have a corner cap, you don't have to get too perfect. Just make sure right in here it looks good, because that's gonna sit just like that and cover up any other flaws you guys might have. And that's it. That's your first corner. And then you just do it all the way across. Next thing I'm gonna show you guys is the seam. All right, y'all. Now for the really, really tricky part. You've got to really take your time, be careful with this. This is your seam. So here's the edge of your amp. You want your two pieces to overlap. Now your corner edge is gonna be right about here, corner edge here, and then you've got your feet. So you want it to be in, what I would do, and what I'm going to do is, I want my seam to be in between those feet and the corner edges, because those are gonna seal the edge just in case anything were to catch it. You don't want it to start peeling off, right? So I'm gonna bring it damn near to the edge of this thing, right? So what you wanna do is figure out where your edge is. All right, so we're right there. And there. So something right about that. And you want to get yourself a brand new, guys, I can't stress this enough, a brand new razor blade. And you want to get something rigid, something with a nice big flat edge, because what you're going to do is you're going to cut through all the layers of the Tolex in a straight line. You do not want this thing to move because your lines will be wonky. It's not going to match up. It's going to be a nightmare. It won't work. It's going to suck. So again, you want something that you can press the razor blade against and push through all of these layers of Tolex. It's very important. And I like where that's at. It's a little bit angled. And I'm just eyeballing, guys. Some people measure this stuff. I'm not stressing it that much. But I do not want this straight edge to move. Now, I wouldn't say don't use a 2x4. It's too much a rounded edge. Get something with a nice hard edge so you can literally just press against that thing. And I'm probably going to come to this side. Hold this bad boy down, and you are going, because you can only do this one cut. You can't do like multiple cuts to get all the way through. And I'm going to push as hard as I can up against this thing and cut through all of these layers. Just like that. So once you've cut through that, go and roll this back just a little bit. You're going to go up under here. Jesus, that's really stuck on there already. I have to re-glue that shit. Oh, I didn't cut through. See, this is how you can mess up. Might be a little wonky. We'll find out. Damn it. And that is pretty much your seam. Just like that, guys. Now you can't see it. Bingo, just like that, y'all. There's a seam. All right, so last part, when you're done rolling everything, look how pretty that is. So when everything's done, you got your end caps on, you're gonna have this overhang, right? Well, how do I get rid of that overhang? Same way as we did the seam. Find something with a nice flat edge. I'm gonna use literally a square and a fresh razor blade so you can cut a straight line. Don't try and do it by hand. I've done it before, and on my other cab, the first one, and my line looked like this. So same thing, just most of the stuff people aren't going to see, but just press all the way up against whatever you're using as a flat edge. Put my blade right there, eyeball where I'm at, and just continue to do this. Woo, slow down there, Nick. And I have to do it this way because there's a hole right there. Where's my line? Here, we're gonna do this. Yeah, this is where the vent for the head is. And of course I didn't get through right there. This is why I said use a good razor blade. Doesn't matter. All right, so there you go. Now you're gonna have a nice straight line on the inside of your cab so it doesn't look all wonky and shit like that, which I've done on the other cab. So follow this line right there. That looks pretty good. And that's gonna be a little funky, so we're gonna have to guesstimate that. Again, all you're trying to do is just get a nice straight cut so it doesn't look like a weaving snake. Something like that. Where we at? That should be good. Go all the way in. Oop, nope. Push that back in, and there you go. And just like that, guys. I gotta put more glue there, but now you have a straight line instead of like a weavy, snaky thing. But again, when you're cutting against something you need a straight line, just always use something that you can push up against nice and hard. Doesn't have any bevels on or rolls on the edges. Just get a nice straight cut. And that's it, guys. That is corners, seam, and on the inside, I gotta do the back, and this thing's done. There is the White Lightning. First cab and actually first amp I've ever rewrapped, re-tolex, whatever you want to call it myself. And I gotta be honest, it came out pretty good. Honestly, nowhere near as hard as I expected it to be. And I'm sure everyone's asking, why white, Nick? Why all the white? Honestly, I'm not a fan of just black stuff. Yes, I wear black shirts and things like that all the time. But most base model stuff when it comes out is black, and I've just never liked it. It's just, there's so much of it. Every guitar that's like a base model, the first thing to come out was a black guitar. You know, all amp cabs are all black tolex. They put out so many of them. Every base model cab, every base model amp, every base model guitar, and even the things that aren't base model. The default is always black, and I've just never liked it. So if you haven't noticed, I clearly fall into a habit of making everything white, from white guitars to white pickups to now white cabs and white and black mixture amps. As for rewrapping the amp and the cab, the hardest thing you're going to run into, and I'm sure everybody feels this way, is going to be the corners. And honestly, if you take your time, it's not that difficult. I apologize again for my GoPro cutting out and me not getting as much footage of that kind of stuff as I wanted to. But again, it's not that difficult. Just take your time. I would strongly recommend, if you're going to do this and you've never done it before, get a little bit of extra material and get a couple of pieces of plywood and just make yourself a corner and spend your time doing a couple of corners, peeling off the tolex, doing it again, just like 3 or 4 times. By your 4th time, you pretty much got it down. On top of the corners being the hardest part, obviously, the seam. The seam was definitely the hardest part for me to wrap my head around. But again, I would strongly recommend a couple pieces of plywood, make a corner box out of them, get yourself some extra material, and practice doing the seam. Once you've done it a handful of times, it's not difficult. It literally is something that's going to be like riding a bike. So, super fun. I had a blast doing it. And again, nowhere near as hard as I expected it was going to be. And I'm really stoked the way things came out, man. Especially with this extra material I had floating around for this John boat project I'm working on in the BBP lab, in the basement, that you guys will be seeing soon. And we definitely got it officially branded in BBP Inc. Basement built. That's what this is. This is what I'm doing with the channel, guys. So I hope you enjoy this stuff. If you do enjoy it, give me a like, as well as if you do have any questions when it comes to, let's say you're sitting on an old cab or an old amp that you want to customize and make look a certain way. If you have any questions, if you're running into issues, by all means, reach out. I have no problem giving you guys pointers or helping you along. Just leave me a comment and I'll get to it and I'll answer those questions for you. Anyway, outside of that, guys, go ahead and stay tuned for more basement built production style projects like this one that I'll be cranking out as we go along this new path to the channel. And I will see you guys next time. Stay creative, create or die.